What's up, guys? Boogie back again. Welcome back to my channel. So don't forget to subscribe, guys. Road to 5,000 subscribers. I have a compilation of so many videos we're going to be reviewing and reacting to today, and just giving you my opinions like I always do. But the first one is crazy. And this lady is 25, as you can see the title from this video, and I'll definitely be linking down all the videos, all the channels, all the links to all the content I'm reacting to, right? So this lady Ashley, this is her channel. She hosts a show where she brings on the ladies, and yeah, they want advice on how to get the rich men and to get men to give them all these kind of lifestyles. But this lady is 25. The lady right here on the right, she's 25. She wants a rich man, and apparently Ashley has the game. But what's so interesting is the fact that how women gravitate to women to help them find the rich guy, and then honestly even men gravitate to men like maybe Kevin Samuels and other leading voices in the space. But it's just funny how, unless someone can convince me that Ashley does really have the man, she has a man herself to give her the rich lifestyle. This is all smoking mirrors, and the reason I say this is because there are very few rich men who are going to. First of all, there are very few rich men, right? Some, and probably half of those are married. Secondly, there are very few rich men who are willing to spend money on a woman like that. So now you're already cutting the numbers are coming down and down, right? So for me, Ashley could tell these women all everything to do to get a rich man, but the rich man actually has to approach the woman, and he actually has to be interested in the woman. So for me, this is like the same as giving someone advice on how to get into a prestigious university, but then they actually have to apply, and then they have to have the grades, like, and then there are very few prestigious universities, right? Colleges. So I don't know if this is ever going to work. But without further ado, let's get into it and see what advice she's giving.
So, I want to be your next success story. I am really motivated to level up right now. I have already leveled up from like a long time ago, but I'm in a different space right now. Like, I'm grown, I'm older, my mindset has changed, and I just want something better.
Okay, and what's better look like to you?
Well, I want a penthouse.
Okay,
Uh-huh. I want a Porsche.
okay.
And I want like a little puppy because I don't have no kids. And I
hmm
just want to live like the single, cute, put up lifestyle.
Okay, and what are we doing to work towards those goals? To have
Um,
our dream apartment, our dream home, our dream car, and to have our dream dog. What are we doing?
so I'm going out. I'm back on the scene. I have been going out.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
yes, I
we're
am
going
going.
out.
I'm outside. I am outside. I'm living in Vegas.
Okay.
Like 80 degrees today. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, we're outside. I have this like little bar, restaurant, hotel that I'm trying to become a regular at. I'm also in my fitness bag again.
Okay. Okay. And
So
what's the outfits look like when we go out? When we're out in Vegas, what are we wearing?
classy, sexy, classy dresses,
Okay.
stockings, heels, stiletto boots. Like that's
Okay.
all me.
Okay. And
I mean, at the end of the day, that's all a woman can do. You know, now sh- to take it to the next level, she may have to actually look at the guy who has the money, because keep in mind, she says she wants a penthouse. So So we're talking she wants a man who's in the top 1%, honestly. Maybe top 5% if I'm going to be generous. So a man who has a penthouse is probably going to be a man who doesn't make less than $1 million a year. So she wants a millionaire, right? So she wants a Porsche. Yo, I don't know if I don't know how they come up with these things, but the very few men who can just buy a woman a penthouse and give them a Porsche just like that. It's going to have to be, there are very few millionaires who can do those things, So that's number one. Number two, it's okay that she's getting herself together, she's in shape, she's going out, because that's the only thing. Like I said, that's probably the number one thing most women can do, to put themselves in areas where those rich men hang out. But at the end of the day, it sounds like she wants a sugar daddy, if we're going to be honest.
What are you attracted? And let me say this, Kimmy. So it sounds like, okay, Kimmy's like, I want the penthouse, I want the car, and I want my dog. But as you know, not the work rate. Okay, shout out to the girls who work. But I really wanted to, a provider guy. Is that what you're saying? I want someone to sponsor my lifestyle. Yes.
Yeah,
She wants a
that
sugar
is
daddy.
what I'm saying. And I have had like success in the past. So I really try not to like dwell on the past and like stay stuck there. But I have had success in the past when I was like more like toned down and like slimmer and everything like that. But I didn't have the mindset. Like I just was like kind of like ditzy. You know what I mean? I was smart.
Maybe just younger, more bright eyed self. Yes.
Yes. And
Okay.
not understanding my potential and not understanding like I could get anything that I want. Like anything.
Okay.
That's not true, because if you could get anything that you wanted, you would have the rich guy right now to sponsor your lifestyle. But I don't mind Ashley, and Ashley is the lady here with so much makeup on, telling these women how to get a rich guy. But I think it would be best if she actually told these women how few of the rich guys are out here. Because every woman wants a rich guy. Even the women who say they don't care about money, if you give them the option, hey, you have a good guy, he's going to treat you nice, but he's rich, or you have this rich guy, but you guys are going to struggle with money, she would choose the rich guy any day. So at the end of the day, all women want a guy who has money. But I think what they don't think about is how few of those guys are available. Now, maybe they don't care. Maybe they decide to be delusional. But it would be best if whatever they are looking for, they know how rare it is. And now, if she claims she one time she had a guy like that, it would be best you don't let him go, because other women want him.
Yeah. You are so funny. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So what are we attracting now? What's the vibe like now? What type of men are we attracting now?
older. I like older men is what I attract.
Okay.
But I always have this, oh my God, this is gonna sound so weird. So I always have this like feeling that because I'm attracting older men, it's like, are you attracted to me because I'm younger, or are you attracted to me because of something else?
Okay, but you are attracted to them. In fact, you're not even attracted to them. You also want them because you want them to get you a penthouse and a Porsche. So why are you worried why they're attracted to you? Because I think she's about to say she wants them to be attracted to her for the good reasons. But you expecting a penthouse and a Porsche, is that a good reason for you to be attracted to them? You see the double standards?
Because if you're only attracted to me because I'm younger,
Both.
Exactly.
And he could like you too, but if we're being honest,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's being delusional, that you want an older man, that you expect him to give you a penthouse and a Porsche to just be attracted to you, because why? Yeah, reasons. You're going to be young, you're younger, and you look good. It's clearly you just want a fully transactional relationship. So that's what it's going to be. I don't know why she's delusional.
So you think Kimmy, you think he's after, he sees you and like, I'm after her heart?
The Lulu. Yeah.
no. Okay, what I'm saying, that's why I said like it's gonna sound weird. I'm just like,
Mhm.
because I'm not getting any younger, and neither is he, obviously. But I'm not getting any younger. So, are you only attracted to me because I'm younger? Like, do you like, for instance, if I'm dating a guy, I'm in my 20s, I'm 25. If I'm dating a guy, he's in his 40s or even in his 50s, because that's what I've dated in the past. And I keep you around, not like as a boyfriend, like a husband or anything like that, but like if I keep you around as like a sponsor to sponsor my lifestyle that I want, are you gonna get bored of me once I turn like older, like in my 30s and my 40s and stuff like that? Are you gonna be attracted to a girl who's in her 20s again, or are you just attracted to me because I'm younger, like in relation to you? Does that make
Okay, so you remember how I told you that all these women want the rich guy? So what she's thinking about is the competition from other women. So she's thinking, okay, if I finally get this rich guy who's giving me this expensive lifestyle, at what point is he gonna get tired of me and get another woman? But that's what comes with a lifestyle. You gotta make a choice. You gotta make a sacrifice. Do you want to enjoy the rich lifestyle for a period of time, but at any time he can pick up another woman to replace you? Or would you rather be with an average guy that cannot easily replace you? You gotta pick and choose, mama. You can't have it all. You can't have the rich guy who's giving the rich expensive lifestyle, and you think it's gonna be till death do you part. So it's either you want the rich guy and the expensive lifestyle is really limited to a certain amount of time, or do you want me, the average guy, who's gonna love you forever and ever and ever? You gotta pick, but I'm not gonna give you the penthouse, and we're probably gonna be driving a Toyota Camry. It's not gonna be a Porsche. So you gotta pick and choose. So I think she's already scared of being replaced, but that's what comes with a lifestyle.
sense?
Yeah, but I think if he's older and he's dating younger woman and he has all the money, it doesn't matter if she's in her 20s, 30s, or 40s. If he has the means and the money, I think, and if that's the type of time he's on when he met you, like the time of, okay, you're young and pretty and I want to finance your life, and that's how he moves, I'm assuming that's how he's going to continue to move. Even if he decides, okay, this one right here, I'll marry her, but I still want to play sugar daddy. I still want to finance the girl's lifestyle. So if that's the guy you want, let's say you want that guy who's sponsoring your lifestyle, buying you all the things, I can't say he's going to stop doing those things, but if you're okay with it and you want to become the wife, then try to become the wife if he's not married already, honey.
Yeah, that comes with a lifestyle. I think one thing these ladies struggle with is they want to be sugar babies, they want a sugar daddy, but they also want it to be true love, the same Disney fantasy fairy tale that they see in the movies. And you can't have it both ways. Either you get the average guy and he's gonna buy you flowers, call you, text you every morning and lunch and dinner time before bed, but it's never gonna be in a penthouse. You're gonna be living in the same room with him in a one-bedroom apartment. Or you get a guy who's gonna give you a penthouse, but he's gonna have 10 of you. You gotta make a choice.
If you're about that life, if that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what I want, but I don't date married men.
No, I'm not saying marry, but I'm saying if he's not married, if he's still looking for his wife, just someone who's on his arm to go to galas, functions, whatever, have someone on his arm, but he still wants to go out and play and, do what he wants, then you have to decide, where do you want to be? Do I want to be the wife or the one he plays with?
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. That's food for thought. That's
Yeah.
food for thought.
When someone is older than you, and I'm not saying you're not smart, Kimmy, you may be smart, but you aren't wise. And what I mean by that is when a man is older, he can still see right through you. So although you think you're sharp, he may be a little sharper. So I say that to say, be careful. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful. And if that's the game you're playing, just move smart, is what I'm saying, Kimmy. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
I mean, shout out to Ashley. That's good advice. I know she's preaching. I mean, they don't. She's preaching sugar daddy, sugar baby. But at the same time, at least she's telling the ladies, be cautious, because with every choice, with whatever lifestyle that you want, it comes with consequences. It comes with trade-offs. It comes with sacrifices. And you may want the expensive lifestyle that you want. It comes with, you're going to pay somehow, either with your body, somehow you're going to pay.
That makes a lot of sense.
All right, so take your time. You are beautiful. You are fit. You came up here looking good. Your hair is looking good. I know the body is giving. You're in Vegas, not too far from LA.
Yeah.
So date, take it slow. Take it one day at a time. And if that's the life you want to sign up for, just be aware of everything else that comes with it. Okay?
What do you mean by that? Like everything else that comes with it? Like I've had success in the past, but like I said, like I just wasn't ready. Like I just didn't know my potential. Like I didn't know like what I had. I had so much to offer. Just being a woman, just being feminine, just being real cute. Like, I'm a good look.
But
it's amazing how they don't want the average guy because he's not going to be able to buy the penthouse, the Porsche, but he doesn't come with crazy standards. But then they want the rich guy who's going to give them the expensive lifestyle to act like the average guy, but with money. But you can't have it both ways. Either settle with me, the average guy, or go live with a rich guy, but just remember, it comes with some certain sacrifices.
This is the thing. This is the thing that changes, Kimmy. So before you weren't aware of who you are, right? And you were able to get those guys, right? But it changes. Once you know who you are and then you're with that guy, now that you know who you are, you're not gonna want to put up with BS.
Oh my God.
So that's the thing now. Now that I know who I am and I know I could get him, but I know who I am. Do I want to put up with it? So now that's something else you have to think about. So I'm saying if you decide to go into that type of lifestyle, you have to be okay with everything that comes with, meaning he may be dating 20 other Kimmys.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm dating 20 other Kinnys.
Yeah, but the other 20 guys that you are dating are not buying you a penthouse or Porsche. And best believe some of those really rich guys, once they find out that the girl they're paying, whose lifestyle they're paying for, is bringing guys to the same penthouse he bought her, they cut them off. They either take the cars back that they bought them, repossess the cars, stop paying the rent. We have seen them on TikTok crying, oh, my sugar daddy stop paying for my rent. Now I'm going to be homeless. So she may laugh now, but it comes with consequences. It comes with big sacrifices. So shout out to Ashley for trying to tell her, hey, listen, you want the rich guy, but this is what comes with it. So he's going to have 20 of you, but you're not going to have 20 of him, because very few rich guys are out there. And very few rich guys are out there and willing to actually spend the money.
I mean, it don't work like that.
Exactly.
I mean, you could date, but I'm saying sleeping with, if a man is, we say this as a lady, Kimmy, if a man is doing all the things for you, right? All of the things, he's getting you your apartment, he's getting you your car, he's buying you flowers, he's sending you money, he's doing all of the things. Women are going to fall in. I don't care how many of y'all say, oh, I'm going to get Kenny and John and whoever. You're going to fall in love because he's being consistent and buying you all of the things. And you are going to get emotional. Even if you sit here and tell me you're not, you are. Because he's showing up and doing all of the things that other guys aren't doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sounds like Ashley, obviously, if she's giving us this advice, she must be a sugar baby. I don't know, but I think so. Allegedly, But yeah, women, ladies, you don't want the average guys out here. You don't want us. It's okay. Go get you a rich guy. That's if, first of all, you have to get the rich guy, because there's not many of them around. But once you get him, just know there's so much that comes with it. But shout out to Ashley. I'll put the full link down below to the video. I don't want to go too deep into that, so I'll put down her channel down below if you guys want to continue the video. And then next up, we have this lady. This is a crazy one, man. Apparently, she had been with her boyfriend in a relationship with a guy, living together for so long. But what happened is she waited till the guy went to work and she broke up with him. And what she did was start to take all the things she claims she bought for the house. So get this straight. She's in a relationship with this guy for a couple of years. So he doesn't want to marry her. That's what she claims, that he was refusing to marry her, but they live together. So once he went to work, she decided to pack up all her stuff, get all the things she claims she bought, and left. But without further ado, let me show you what the dating world is right now.
Come with me to leave my 8.5-year relationship while he's at work. Disclaimer, everything that you see in the video that I'm taking apart or just leaving, that's his, and I'm taking what's mine. I did not leave this relationship because he didn't love me or I didn't love him. I just needed to love me more. And the only reason why I'm sharing this is because I feel like God has placed me in people's lives to be resilient. And I know for a fact with dealing with my clients that a lot of people don't share what they're going through because they're embarrassed and it's very taboo. And I'm an open book. This is my life. And at the end of the day, when the bills hit, it comes out of my account. And this is just my truth. I left because I wanted marriage. I wanted to grow a family and he wanted to be stagnant. And I'm not here on his time. I'm here on limited time, whatever God has for me.
So I can already tell why he didn't marry her, because if she has the nerve to put up a camera and record herself breaking up with her boyfriend when he's at work, right? She wasn't confident enough to tell him, hey, this is not working, I'm gonna leave, in his face. She decided to record everything, taking petty things like shower caps and shower heads and stuff like that, break up with him when he's at work. He doesn't know what's going on, and she's just gonna run out of the apartment. I mean, that's enough reason for him not to. Clearly, you're not a wife. You're not wifey material. Because if this is how you're acting and recording everything and putting it on the internet, but you are not confident enough or mature enough to sit down and have a conversation with him that, hey, listen, I really desire marriage, but how are we going to get to the point? If he says no, then you can live in peace. But you decided the best form of communication is to pull out your phone, record yourself, say how he's not marrying you, picking up a few things, and just leave without him knowing. So that already can tell me what kind of woman you are behind closed doors. I can't imagine what this guy has been going through the whole time. Because remember, this is her side of the story. We don't know his side of the story because, as usual, most men don't pick up their cameras to, after a breakup, to explain their side of the story.
And what I'm not about to do is sit here and wait around for him to eventually want to marry me or feel like he's marrying me because he settled. And I know what everybody's thinking, like 8.5 years, girl, that's a red flag. But we came from very dysfunctional upbringings, and I thought that he would change because I have changed so much. And I can't just sit here and say people don't change when I'm changing. And
where is the give me evidence of the fact that you've changed. If this is you changing, breaking up with someone who's at work instead of sitting down and having a mature conversation, if this is what you call change, then clearly this is the reason why he thought you are not wifey enough or wifey material. This is probably one of the reasons he didn't think you were marriage material. This is one of the reasons he refused to marry you. Because if this is what you call change, then clearly you have so much work to do. The best thing would have been to sit down and have a conversation. And hey, listen, this is not working. I'm going to leave. I wish you the best. And then you don't have to pull out your camera and, I mean, I don't mind because I'm a content creator, so I can react to whatever BS you put out there. But guess what? Whichever man, there is no man in this entire world who's going to see this and think, hey, you know what? She's a catch. Let me, get in a relationship. Let me marry her. Yet he knows when things don't go your way, you're probably going to do the same thing you did to your ex. You're going to pull out your phone and run off when he's at work behind his back. So there's no man who's going to watch your video and think that's wife material.
I'm growing. But if someone doesn't want to grow together, then that's just not for me. So what I'm gonna do is
She's
choose
taking
myself,
petty
pack up all
things.
my shit, and I'm gonna bounce. Because if you don't want me, there's another man that will. Don't get me wrong, this was like the hardest thing to do because I'm in love with this man, but I need to love me more. And part of loving me more is I don't tolerate things that I don't deserve. And I'm not going to settle, not for him, not for anyone, not for anything in life, because I know what I deserve. And that is
Honestly, I'm glad the guy didn't, marry her, because what she's doing is what so many women do when they divorce their husbands. If something doesn't go their way, rather than sitting down to have a conversation, most guys see their wives bringing divorce papers. Like, where did this come from? Why didn't we have a conversation about this? They just bring divorce papers. So if this was a marriage, this would be a divorce. He would become a statistic. You feel me? Now she's taking, a few bed sheets, some shower heads and things like that. But if they were married and he was the breadwinner, she would be taking properties, taking his kids, taking half and throwing him out of the house. So this could be a blessing in disguise. So this guy should just get down to his knees, thank God that he wasn't actually married to this woman. And she says there are other guys who want her. There is no man in his right mind who's going to watch this video and think this is wifey material. She would never leave me. She would never run away behind my back. She would never break up with me before having conversation. She will never take stuff from the house when I'm at work behind my back. She will never post on the internet about our breakup. There is no man who's going to think that after watching this video, because this is a red flag in itself.
exactly why I left. And he still has not told his family. He hasn't told anybody. So hopefully this goes viral enough so that they can see what's really going on. Check this out. That's his TV, but guess what? I bought that anchor.
And guys, this is the dating world right now. I don't mind social media because we get to see how most guys are going through it. But this is not okay. Whether a man or woman does this, if you're not willing to have a conversation, to sit down with someone you've been with for years, you are a red flag for me. You're not worth the marriage that you want it to be. Because at the end of the day, this shows that if it was actually an actual marriage, you still would have left, because that's who you are. That's your character. Your character is, if something doesn't go your way, you run off behind someone's back and break up with him and take stuff. So shout out to that guy. He dodged the bullet. What do you guys think? All right. Next up, we have Kendra J. Kendra J is gonna be talking about her story about how she used to have a good man, but she chose her career over a good man. Kendra has a show that Amor is reacting to, and she's giving hope to these ladies that they're gonna find their Prince Charming. But clearly, apparently, Kendra G once had a Prince Charming, but she chose a career over a good man, and she says she doesn't care dying single. Let's get into it.
I ain't gonna watch that episode. I don't want to hear him play in the face. You see what I'm saying? I want to change the heart posture that we have towards our brothers and sisters in Christ. At least have an open ear to hear. Just hear. I have my boy David Michael Wyatt. Special performance by him. If y'all don't know who that is, let me tell you, you must have been hiding in the rock or something. But he sang the theme song for the Dear Future Wifey podcast. You know what? I'll be releasing other names as the dates get closer, but go ahead, book your plane ticket if you're out of town so you can pull up on us in Greenville, South Carolina, April the 17th for the Dear Future Wifey podcast 5-year anniversary event. Is going to be absolutely amazing. Can't wait to see you there. DearFutureWifeyTour.com. What's up, Live Fam? A lot of you have been asking me, when is our next getaway? When is our...
All right, let me just skip to where Kendra starts.
At that moment, you now the walking dead. Like you can never come back into my life because, for me, if you can't, anybody could show up on your best
Of course,
day.
of course.
But if you don't show up on if you don't at least check in and say, hey, I know we not together, and it's already, you're dealing with COVID, and this is the day. Get prizes because you're dealing with madness. But that could be the case. And I think people, he was this faithful man and treating Big Mama so well.
And they feel like I can do bad all by myself, or I don't need you.
Hold on, guys.
And they feel like I can, and they, versus what you're talking about. We saw a lot of our elders have toxic marriages. They have a whole nother family living down the street.
Yeah, but it was like I had to bet on me, and for a long time,
yeah, okay,
I got a full-time job in Buffalo. Knew me.
He's dating. Let me ask you this: do you desire marriage?
If I died tomorrow and I wasn't a wife, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, because you'd be dead.
Damn.
Yeah.
So when people,
Exactly.
when people say stuff like that.
No, but let me tell you why. Because
bother you dead.
no, because there's some people that are like, if I don't get married, it's the biggest
None of
regret.
that matters once you die.
No, but you got to hear me out, because I felt like becoming who I was born to be. So let me talk about people always say engagements don't count. And my engagement changed my life, and it helped me understand me, because I feel like most women we're sold the Cinderella story of marriage, right? So when I was young, I was sold the Cinderella story, like, oh, you meet somebody, Prince Charming. So I did what we recommend girls do. I went to college, I went to Hampton University, got into a relationship. After college, we got engaged. And I remember, it's so funny, my mother, everybody was happy. My daddy said to me, he was like, you are not ready to be anybody's wife. My dad knew. He said, you are so ambitious that you're going to have to give up everything of who you really are to be this man's wife. And I remember,
because that's what marriage is. You guys become one, but usually the man is usually has a plan for you guys, so you may have to follow the guy's plan. So maybe he wasn't making much money, or whatever it is. Clearly he wasn't good enough for you to join his plan and to become one. So your dad was right.
I remember being so mad at my dad, because I was like, I don't think you would be happy, right? But he knew me. So one thing I loved about my engagement is that me and my ex-fiance, we took it serious. And we were like, if we get married, it's me and you until Jesus.
Yep.
Like, no matter what, if we do this, we end this. And having that pact in the beginning caused us both to really take this as a serious thing. What we learned was we had a real love for each other, but we had different life plans. And somebody was going to have to give up their life plan in order for the family to work. Now, at this time, I'm young. I'm in my 20s. I'm starting off in radio. I'm a graduate from Hampton University, but my first radio job, I made $7 an hour. And I'll never forget, I got a full-time job in Buffalo, New York, and they wanted me to sign a 3-year contract. I wouldn't sign the contract. So they said, okay, well, we're going to just let you go. It was December 20th. 5 days later, I didn't know, but my boyfriend then was planning to propose. And he proposed on Christmas Day. So I got fired, and then I got engaged on Christmas Day. So I didn't have a job, so I ended up moving with him. This is how my Chicago run began, because he was an electrical engineer living in Illinois. So I ended up moving to Illinois. So we had spent a year-long distance while I was working in Buffalo. So the first 2 weeks was amazing, right? Because it's like, okay, we're here. It's like honeymoon time. After that 2 weeks, he's going to work every day. I have no financial issues. Like, he has a reliable career, probably still has that job with that company at a higher level now. I moved in with him, so it was no extra bills. All I had to do was just get married and pop out some babies. And I said, this is not my life. This is not what God birthed me to become. And
wow. If that's not what God made put you on earth to become, then he would never have made you meet such a good guy that you claim he was. But this also goes back to, because I don't know if her parents are married, because she talked about her dad so much, she didn't mention her mom. So clearly, if she didn't see the marriage or the dad being married, there is no way it was going to transform into her life. And even her dad told her she was too ambitious to be married. So that obviously didn't help the situation, but that's because the dad didn't raise her to be married. Because let's face it, guys, so many of us have come from single parent households, and we don't know, we didn't see what marriage is. Some of you are from divorced houses. Even that has an impact on your psychic. because you're thinking marriage that isn't that important. If the people who brought me into this earth couldn't work it out and stay together, why should I get married? So if you meet someone who's good, eventually you're gonna sabotage that. And someone said, I think it was Anton Daniels, that most women, actually, he said, not the exact words, but he said most women have met the man they were supposed to be married to, and they let him go.
I knew I wasn't a housewife. I was like, I would not be happy as just somebody's wife.
Damn.
And having their kids. Like, there's just so much inside of me. And I decided I'm going to pursue this career that
Damn.
has no guarantee. Like,
Feminism.
literally, radio is probably one of the most unreliable careers you can bet on.
Yeah, I heard.
But it was like, I had to bet on me. And for a long time, I remember I used to be like, I chose my career over love.
You did.
The truth of the matter is, I didn't choose my career over love. I chose who I am. Like, this.
No. She's trying to use so many words to make herself feel better. You know, so many times we do things, and then after some time down the road, we realize whatever choices we did, they were not the right ones, right? So we come up with all excuses to play victim, or so many excuses to make us feel better about the wrong decisions we did. Because there are so many career women who are married and they have kids. So are you saying they did the wrong thing, and you, the one who chose to choose your career over marriage, you did the right thing? You feel me? So if we have examples of ladies who are actually in their careers, who have managed to be married and raise kids at the same time, how come you couldn't do it? And you claim he was a good man, so which means he was willing to understand where you, or maybe even work things out with you to see, you know, what you can do in forms of career. Because clearly the whole radio thing is not what you do currently. Currently you do content creation on YouTube. You feel me? But this just goes to show, man, she's a big influence. So imagine all the young ladies who are listening to her, and currently they have good guys. They're gonna think, you know what, this is not for me, let me leave and be like Kendra and pursue my career.
This is who I am, whether I was making $1 off it or not. This is who Kendra is.
So why you say it had to be a choice, though?
Exactly.
What changed? What made it not work?
So what happened? Okay, I'm in radio. I ended up getting a job in Philly.
Oh, yeah.
So I got fired from this job in Chicago. So now I had to relocate to Philly. And we were already kind of rocky because we were discovering, like, at that time, he was ready to, like, have children and get married, like, because he didn't want to be an old father, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not having your child until we get married. And so we were learning, like, okay, we don't really have the same alignment for life goals. And I knew if I took the job in Philly, it was a wrap. There was no way we were going to be able to survive another long distance relationship. And that's what happened. And I moved to Philly, and our relationship did not survive.
How long were y'all together from the day that y'all committed?
We were in college. So we started in college, and then I want to say we met probably like my sophomore year in college. You know, it's one of those, you together, then you're not together.
Yeah.
Then after, our engagement was like 3 years. Once we got engaged, it was like a 3-year process. So by this time, we really are just, because the thing is, he wasn't a bad guy and there wasn't like infidelity. It's different when you learn that, oh, I really love you, but we're just not on the same life plan.
Yes.
It's easy to leave a person if they cheat on you,
Yep.
if they're disrespectful. But when the love is real, but the life assignment isn't aligned, that's harder. So
Honestly, I'm going to blame a little bit of feminism here, because feminism is what told them to choose their careers over marriage. But the issue I have with that is, look at what it's doing to the community. Look at what single parent households are causing to the community. You know, look at what it does to the kids. Because at the end of the day, now in her situation, she has no kids. But majority of women who are in her situation, who choose careers over marriage, over a family of mom and dad in the household, and they have babies, usually the kids get to suffer. So you can choose. So in her, I'll give her some grace. She chose a career over marriage and she has no babies. So that's good. She can only suffer the consequences by herself. But so many other people have kids, and then the kids get to suffer the consequences of their decisions.
But I had to go for what I know, right? And I took the job in Philly, and then that dissolved. And I remember I was really, really sad. But he ended up moving on. But I share this story because some would say this is like 20 years ago. And it's like, okay, 20 years later, you're still not married.
Yep.
You're still not a wife.
Yep.
Would you make that same like bet? Would you make the same decision?
And I'll say you would.
Absolutely, I would. I would have made it a day earlier because I had to choose me. Like, I am not going to suppress who I am just to be somebody's wife. Like you asked.
And I'm glad she did choose her. You know why? Because she's selfish. Because it would have been worse if she had actually accepted to marry that guy, to start a family with that guy, and then divorce his ass along the way because she's choosing herself. Because that's an excuse so many women who file for divorce use. I'm choosing myself. I'm not happy. I'm not happy, so I'm gonna divorce you and go on my own so I can be happy. Because marriage is not really just about happiness. Because remember, it's about other people. You have your husband, obviously, and if the kids come into the picture, it's beyond just about you. So I'm glad she made that choice because she could have messed up the guy's life by divorcing him.
Me outside, you said, am I somebody's wife? I said, I don't know, and I'm okay with that. Like, if I don't get married, it will not.
No, tell them how that conversation came up.
Because he writing letters to ghosts. because Latiris be writing letters to ghost child. Now I thought we stopped having imaginary friends when we was in kindergarten, but now Latiris, he said, I'm about to write the letter to my invisible wife. I said, your wife.
I did not say
okay.
invisible.
He said to his wife, I said, the invisible woman you ain't never. Personally, I don't think Latiris want to be nobody's husband, but I think we might get to that part in the podcast. And I said, you writing letters to everybody know this woman but you. You done sat here, you've been around this world, around all these sensational women. He ain't trying to be nobody's husband, child. But
I told her
that's my own theory.
I said she is not imaginary. She's a real person.
Yeah, everybody know but you. How everybody know your wife but you?
If we meet each other and it aligns and we say I do, then she became my wife. So she wouldn't be imaginary no more, would she?
Okay, this is your interview, so I'm gonna respect that.
Talk.
Okay, but I have a question for you.
Have a conversation.
What are you looking for? Because like most people don't have the opportunity that you have. You have the opportunity to associate with so many women, right? Which I really feel like is your disadvantage because we're having so many choices. It's like you're trying to make this perfect person. It's like, ooh, I like her. She speaks well. Ooh, but I like her because she fine. Ooh, I like her. Her hair real. Ooh, I like her. She go to church the most. So you got like 5 different pieces of a woman and you're trying to make it that one. So it's like, to me, I think your challenge is, focusing on one woman only and rocking out life with her when you have so many options. And I feel like that's the disadvantage. That's
a disadvantage most women have too. Because one time a girl showed me her inbox and she had 500 messages from 500 different guys. Now I can guarantee you there were some guys who were short, there were some guys who were tall, some guys who had money, some guys who didn't have money, some guys who were in shape, some guys who were not in shape, some guys who were charismatic, some guys who were not. Because in 500 people, if you are the boyfriend or if you're one of the guys she's talking to, chances are it's not going to work out because as soon as you do something she doesn't like, she's probably going to go in her inbox, choose a photo she likes, and then message that guy and then link up with that guy. So I can see where Kendra is coming from, saying this guy, the host of this podcast that meets so many women and is struggling. But at the end of the day, most men, they might meet the women, but doesn't mean they actually interact with those women or like approach, which for women, they usually have the men approach them. So still, they actually have real options. The men as men, unless you're like a Drake, like a big celebrity where women can slide in your DMs, most of us guys, even if you might be social, you still have to approach those women. So still, he kind of has an advantage, but not really, because he still has to approach those women.
That's your challenge.
So my challenge is this. My challenge is, well, thank you for your assessment. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Kendra G. I'm not a person that gets caught up on quantity. And so it's because like I go to these events, host these events everywhere. I go to my hotel and by myself. It's not, I don't get caught up on quantity. Matter of fact, I look for quality. I literally look back and say, God, these letters that I've written is literally a blueprint to what I desire. So when I meet a woman, it don't take a long time for me to assess and discern if that's my wife or not. I liken it to an episode I did one day, and I was interviewing this lady named Siobhan and her husband Cheyenne. And while she was talking, tears started streaming down my face. And this was about a couple of years ago, because God revealed to me the sound of a wife. This is this other man's wife sitting right there, and they're talking, but I started crying. She said, why are you crying? I said, I can't compromise having a woman of God. And then she said, you don't have to. What's wrong? Because in my mind, in that season, I said, maybe what I desire, I'm looking for too much. And too much was it was basic. It was just literally, I want a woman that has the heart posture of God. A woman that when I'm in my moments of weariness, when I'm in these moments where I'm trying to figure out the next move, that she'll be able to put her hand on my shoulder and say, babe, you got this, and begin to pray for me.
And I think that's the minimum of what most guys are looking for. But because, just like Kendra did, she wanted to, she wasn't happy. She wanted to be herself, so she left a good man. And that's why men like him, they are scared of things like that. So I can guarantee when he listens to Kendra G's story of where she had a good man, but she left him because she wanted to choose a career, he's scared of meeting a woman and then she gets to leave him because of whatever dumb reason. So for him wanting a woman of God, I think most men who want women of God, they are hoping that the woman understands what God says about marriage, number one, but number two, that their faith in God will build their loyalty in the marriage, where it's so easy these days to file for divorce. Because you know how they say people get married in church in front of God and the pastor and every other person, but when it comes to divorce, there is no God in the divorce court, in the family court or divorce court. So she may be a woman of God, but as soon as she doesn't like something, she's gonna file for divorce, and there's definitely, God is not coming down to save you. She wants to leave, and I think that's why he's struggling. But for me, I would say go to church. But even then, it's not guaranteed that when she's not happy, she won't file for divorce. Anyway, man, shout out to this gentleman right here. His podcast is Dear Future Wifey. I'll link down below the full conversation with Kendra G. I just wanted to react to that Kendra G segment where she left a good guy. She chose herself. All right. Next up, shout out to Anton Daniels. This is one of his other channels, After Hours, and they're reacting to this woman who says men want to control women. All right, so let's get into it.
Because a man's goal is to conquer you, not love you. If a man's goal was to love you and treat you as an equal, when you do things for that man and you help him, say he's down on hard times, right? And you help that man out, he will live to resent you for that. And take it from the girl who literally would bend over backwards for a man as soon as I was having feelings for them. They will live to hate you for that. They will always look at you and remember the time when you emasculated them for helping them. Because again, if it was really about love, if it was really about loving you as a person, you helping them would be something they would appreciate. But since it is conquer, they want to conquer you, they want to control you, you being the one to help them emasculates them. And I don't know what that's all about. It doesn't make sense to me because we don't think that way. Us women, we don't think like that. But truly, I believe that it is a deep-rooted mother wound that a lot of these men will not face. So they will project those things onto the next woman. But again, take this from the girl that bent over backwards. Like, go to that video that I posted talking about what happened between my ex and I, and guys were like, that's why he left you. And it's like, I have some tough news for you. I'm the one who left him. But that man will switch up on you. And the thing is that the men, the community of men who see women as merely objects and not humans will always blame it on the woman. Because it doesn't matter. If a man is asking you what you bring to the table, he does not care what you bring to the table. Okay? If you bring anything to the table, he will resent you for it. Or let a man know that you're pressed. Because the right man, the man that is actually your husband, will not put you in a position to even have to help him. And if he does, he will grow to love and appreciate you more for it, not hate you.
Yeah, before they even go in, that was crazy. That was very hard to listen to. First of all, the only time a man will feel emasculated by a woman helping him is if she does it with as if she's doing him a favor. You know, if she's throwing her degree and her money in his face, or she tries to remind him how she was helping him, that's the only time a man is going to feel emasculated. Otherwise, men love women who can help them because it's very rare, because most women expect a man to give them. So if a woman comes out to give a man, most men will appreciate it. So I don't know what the hell she was talking about. It sounds more like she was projecting whatever she's going through to the rest of to the general public. Also, a man asks what you're bringing to the table because he knows he doesn't want a woman who's just going to be saying me, do for me, do for me, do for me. That's the only reason men ask what you're bringing to the table, to know that you're not going to, they don't want to feel used. Oh my God, that was tough to listen to.
The question is, our final question for tonight is, do men want to control women, and what are the real intentions behind having women in relationships? What are our real intentions? Do we want to conquer women? Do we want to control them? Do we want them as partners? Do we want to build with them? What are the true intentions of most men in relationships? And what are the true intentions of most women in relationships? Carrie.
Don't everybody talk at the same time.
I do think that a lot of men want to control women in relationships. Yeah, I do think that in general, y'all like to be in control. I do. Yep, I do.
Do women want to be controlled?
Being in control and controlling women is two different things, though, right?
In control or controlling. Yeah, I mean, I know that controlling has more of a negative connotation. But
that's what I was about to say. Submission, control, leadership, in charge. What other words have negative connotations in the dating world? You know, and usually women put the negative connotations on those words. Otherwise, any leader, because women want a leader, but they don't want him to be in control. They want a leader, but they don't want to be led. It's like, okay, pick and choose. They want a leader, but as soon as you say, are you going to submit? They're like, oh, no, you want me? I'm not your slave. It's like pick and choose. Like you can't have it both ways. So that's what it's confusing.
But I think that y'all like to know that you have the control, like you have the authority, you have the power, it's how I want it to be. I do think that. I think that women like it if it's not like overused. Now we into abuse, obviously. That should go without say. But I think that they only will respect it if they feel like you're doing it and covering all the bases of the relationship. Like a struggling woman or like a woman who feels like she's neglected or whatever, I don't think she's going to be beat for feeling like you want control over her. But a woman who feels like she's taken care of from you and she's covered and she's protected, I think that the control is looked at in a different way, like it's welcomed.
So the issue we already have, it's about feelings. So it's not a guarantee that because today she feels safe, tomorrow she'll feel safe, even if the guy is doing that same exact thing. That's why in the honeymoon phase, the guy is doing everything she wants. He's bringing flowers. She really likes him. You know, he's, sending her good morning text, good morning, whatever, calling her. She likes everything because she feels special. But he can keep doing the same things, and then she's gonna start to feel bored and feel unhappy. So it's about feelings, is what she's really trying to explain. So in that instance, it means she may want him to, the guy may do the same things he was doing in the beginning of relationship, and then later on she can start to feel like he's controlling. So it's about, to them, it's about feelings. But honestly, for me, I don't think men, in my, obviously I'm a man, so I may be a little bit biased. So, but I don't think men want to control women. They just want to have a woman who listens without always pulling the rope of trying to challenge them every turn. That's my opinion.
What she said though, the girl, with regard to her bending over backwards and helping out financially, and then him responding that way. I mean, I don't know. I
Hey,
think
why
there's
do
more to that.
girls
I think
talk to
there's more to
us
that
guys, man?
story. I think there's
Why
more
do
to that
girls
story.
talk to guys that they gotta support? Why do girls talk the best to guys?
Love.
How they feel, potential.
What?
You know, he could change. I can help him. I can make him into. We sat that night and had 5-hour conversation about the $1 million company he was gonna build. He just
That'll
needs
get
some
him.
time.
No push. Only a nudge.
But yeah,
It's love. It's love. That's
it's the
why.
emotion.
And it's okay.
Or the excitement. He
That
could bring some excitement to her life, and she's caught
Yep.
up in that, not paying
Yep.
attention. Or in the moment, it's okay, because like right now we're young. I'm cool. I can cover myself. I'm not really thinking long term, so it's all good right now.
That's so real. I love Carrie. That's so real. Molly's like delusional.
Like, do men want to control women? Is that the ultimate goal, or what is the ultimate goal for most men with women?
I think men want to control women. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, though. I feel like that's just naturally how you guys operate. Y'all are naturally more dominant and more possessive, I guess. And I don't fault men for that, because women are naturally, for the most part, nurturing, and I know sometimes that can be taken overboard. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think sometimes the control could be more so protection, and sometimes we could take it the wrong way. What was the other question?
No.
Yeah, I think the issue with this is, like she said, men are naturally, they want to be in the position of power, conquering and stuff like that, possessive, whatever it is, protective, right? But the issue is, these days, in my opinion, again, guys, this is my opinion, women want men to treat them and love them the way their girlfriends do. I'm going to say that one more time. Women today want men to treat them and love them the way their girlfriends, their best friends, their female best friends do them. They want to be on the phone all day, talk sweet nothings, and then gossip, and then not hold them accountable, and just, not, try to check them if they do something crazy. So they want men to be their girlfriends.
Just what's the ultimate goal of
Oh,
men and getting more women?
well, I think men have different reasons why they want to conquer a woman. It could be for whatever is going through that man's head, I guess, or whatever he has going on. Um, I don't know, the girl in the video, like I dropped the connection, so I don't know exactly what she was getting at. It just sounded like she was mad because she was doing too much for a man and didn't get anything back. But
Yeah, it did
I
sound like.
think what happened to the girl in the video is somebody like Anton played in that skit. She called him to get and told him like times are rough right now. He gave her the money. She brought it back to her man. He found out how she got the money, and he got salty about how. Like, I think there's more to her story about how she helped out in the financial struggle.
I mean, that was her story. We need the full context of the whole story because she only told her side of the story, but the guy didn't. Obviously, most guys never speak out because they never tell their own side of the story. But if that's what happened, that she got money from another guy to give her dude, I could see why he has an issue with it. Because no man is just gonna give a random woman money just for the sake of it. He clearly wants something from her.
Y'all think that men would get mad if they woman borrowed some money so that they can help out from another guy?
Yes.
Girls are getting smoked.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think men will get mad. Well, I think it
think so.
depends on the man. If he's a dusty man who needs money and doesn't care how she gets it, he's not gonna care.
Facts.
But if it's an actual man with some masculinity,
Yeah.
that would I feel like that would be offensive.
Nah, any man should feel some type of way about that shit. That shit get you fucked up.
Facts. No man would throw a party and celebrate if he finds out that when he needed money, his woman got money from another man who she's not related to give him. He would be tight. He would be mad.
Yeah, I would be
Some
scared.
men
to do
use
that.
women financially though, so I don't see why they would care.
Nah, that's gonna lead to some DV.
Funny,
That's
but
what
Some
2K
probably
that's
would.
what
I don't
2K
mean to laugh at that, God. I'm
that's
sorry.
when the 2K theories start coming in because that's beyond disrespect. Like, you
Yeah,
can't
I
do
would
that.
be scared to do that.
You can't do that, man. Like, you did what?
Man, you can hit me up. Let me know. Hit me up. If anything go wrong, hit me up. I'm a good friend to have. I don't even care about money like that.
About what?
Oh Lord.
If anybody is in a bind, just hit me up.
Yeah, but not another man's woman.
I'm in a bind.
Yeah,
Nate.
oh, wait a minute.
Like if I
wait
was
a minute.
single, that would be different. But
Wait.
a grown man.
Before we get back to this, because I want to get Slimmy and Quentin's opinion on this subject that we on. Wait a minute, Carrie, you telling me you wouldn't hit me up? Seriously?
No.
She's
You
married.
wouldn't
No.
hit me up? Me?
To ask you for money?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
No.
I wouldn't either.
Wow. That is crazy. So wait a minute. Y'all don't even got the same. All right. I see this is a one-way friendship. That's cool.
But I wouldn't do that I wouldn't hit up any guy and ask them for money. I wouldn't do that at all. Like I would be I
Yeah.
wouldn't even know how to give the money to my husband.
But I
Like,
thought
what would
we
say?
was friends though. I thought we was friends.
Yeah, you're friends, but her husband is not going to sit around to understand why another man is giving money to his wife to help him out, to help out the family. Now, if it's the dad or even the brother, it's a stretch because most guys are going to feel like they are failing if their woman has to get money from another man to help them out.
Yeah, but friends, that's just friends. I wouldn't No.
Yes, it's weird.
It's
Oh, wait,
weird.
I think
this
that
kinda
a
goes-
man should
I
ask
wouldn't
another
ask my
man
male
for the
friends for
money.
money.
This goes against y'all.
Why can't a man ask another man for money? Ask my
Wait,
friend
wait,
for
No,
money.
I think
I
they
said I
should.
wouldn't ask my male. I said I wouldn't ask my male friends for money.
This
No.
goes against y'all argument of friendships though, because y'all would ask if your homegirl, hey girl, let me get this and y'all hit your homegirls up for money all the time.
Well, let's be
And
clear.
then
I
because y'all
don't.
even
I
I
don't
was-
ask people
no.
for money. So that's that. But
Unless
I
it's a gift.
definitely would not ask any of my male friends for
no,
money.
this
Nope.
goes against y'all argument though.
No, that's a boundary. That's respect for your husband.
Well, wait a minute. I wasn't saying this shit just a minute ago when we was having this conversation about organic platonic friendships with men that you're not interested in talking to.
Friendship does not mean you go and ask them for money.
People hit their friends up for money all the time.
Yeah, see, this is why it's very hard for people to have opposite sex as friends, especially when they are in a committed relationship or marriage. Because now it's different. I mean, it's not even different. Let me even just be fair. If a man needs money and his woman finds out he got money from his female friend, his woman is gonna be tight. She's gonna be mad. And the opposite is true. If the man finds out his woman got money from her male friend, it's like we could have figured this shit out together. We could have agreed upon who we are going to ask for money. Now, if they came to the table and they agreed, that's one thing. But no, I don't support that. That's why having friends when of the opposite sex when you are in a serious relationship, yeah, it becomes very, very, very risky.
My opinion, if you're married and you run into money issues, then y'all figure it out, and
Exactly.
whatever
No, as friends, it should not be y'all putting y'all see, listen, y'all are putting these mythical lines again because if we are organically friends, then you should be able to hit me up for money. That's if we are organically friends with no ulterior motive, then that's the thing that y'all should do. But now it matters because you don't want to be disrespectful to your husband. You wouldn't be being disrespectful to your husband if you hit your homegirl up for money, regardless if you would do it or not. You would not look at that as disrespectful.
I mean, the guy could still look at it as disrespectful because it's like, why didn't you ask me first? You needed money. You're my wife. Why didn't you ask me first? Why are you asking your friends? Because what happens, I'm not married, but just from my opinion, what could happen is whoever is helping you out now has a say in the decisions you're going to make in your life to some extent, if we're going to be honest. Whoever offers you help, whoever you ask for help, now they believe consciously or subconsciously that they have a hand to play in your life and they could use it against you in the future. Oh, you remember when you were down and you asked me for money and I had to help you out because you were broke and so on. So people do that all the time. That's human nature.
Honest with you, I would not hit my homegirl up for
That's
money
not the point.
without let's say I would.
You wouldn't look at it as disrespectful.
I would look at you hitting up anybody for money for your household without your husband knowing it. I would look at it like that.
You would not
period.
look at the only reason y'all acting like this is because I described the description that I did a little bit earlier in the show.
No, I would never do that.
Going to anti-financial services and getting a loan.
Making sure you good, making sure that you cool. That's the only reason that you're acting like this.
No, you know what that story did to me? It told me, I'm so glad that I don't operate like that. I'm so glad that my rule, I would never do that. So for me, I was like, dang, that's crazy.
Come on, man. Y'all hit homegirls send their homegirls stuff all the time without the husband even finding out. And the women don't think it's a bad thing. They're not trying to hide it. They just don't think about it because homegirls send homegirls money all the time. That's just not even a thing. But wait, because the argument from a lot of people from y'all was we should be friends. I can't believe that y'all saying that we can't be friends and all of this other type of stuff. But then when I say, hey, why you wouldn't hit me up for some money? Oh, wow, that's disrespectful to my husband. So it can't be both ways. Okay, let's say
there are other things to ask for though than money. I could ask for advice on some type of business related thing, or how could I make more money, but to ask for money.
Yeah, that's a stretch. It's gotta be something. If you're gonna ask for help from outside people and you're in a committed relationship or married, I believe it should be something that is not going to directly or indirectly affect your relationship in some sort of way or fashion, in my opinion. Because if one of you finds out, if the wife finds out the husband got help from, his work female colleague to with his car, let's say the husband's car broke down and the wife finds out that his female workmate drove him home, she's gonna have an issue with it. We're just humans, and vice versa. If the wife's car breaks down and the husband finds out the male wife's workmate drove her home because her car broke down, he's gonna have an issue with it if he didn't know ahead of time, if they didn't discuss it, if they didn't have a conversation about it. Anyway, shout out to Anton Daniels. I love these conversations just to see the perspective between men and women, the dynamics. I'll put down the full link below so you guys can check out the channel. All right, next up we have women regretting divorce. Women, sounds like we are close to the times when women are finally recognizing that there are very few good men around town. So we have this lady who's going to narrate the story where she ran into a friend who got divorced, and the friend is regretting divorcing a good man. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it.
Caught up with an old friend, and she was telling me that she got divorced, and I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple, and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids, and I just got lonely and bored. And she says that when she would bring it up, like, he would take her out, but it was just boring to her. Like, she needed some excitement in her life. She just felt like she was just a mom and a wife, and her husband just wasn't doing that for her. And she had other friends that had, boyfriends, or like they had just got married, and they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, like going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends, and they did none of that. And when she would bring,
So sounds like she wanted to go back to the streets. And this is what is so confusing to men. It's like, in one hand, women want a good, stable man who's tired of the party life, who wants to become a family man, who wants to work hard for his family and provide and protect so she doesn't have to pay any bills. And as soon as she gets that, she's looking at her single friends who are back in the streets, who are still single, out in the streets, partying, going out. And then she becomes jealous of them. In the meantime, those friends are probably jealous of her situation because she's now a mom. She doesn't even have to wake up early in the morning to go to work, to clock in, because the husband is paying all the bills. But she becomes bored, so she divorces a guy who's doing everything right because she's bored. Yo, dating, we are cooked.
bring it up to her husband would always tell her, like, I gotta work. Like, they had a big house, they had nice things. Like, he was just trying to work. So they ended up getting divorced, and now, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating. So then I told,
and now she's paying all the bills herself, because when she was married, like she said, she was a stay-at-home wife, where she didn't have to wake up early in the morning, go to work, take care of the kids. No, all she had to do was stay home, cook a meal or two, take care of the kids, and watch TV. But now she has to wake up, think about cooking, taking kids to school, paying the bills, go to work, come back, traffic, all the craziness, all because she was bored. Damn.
told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, like dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I fucking hate it. And I was like, why? And she's like, because all they want to do is just have fun. They just want to go to the club. They just want to go to the bar. They just want to hang out, have a good time, and then that's it. She said, no one wants to help me out. Like, I'm trying to find someone that's going to help take care of my kids. She's like, I just want someone to be a provider, not just a good time. So I was all like, well, wasn't that what your husband was doing?
Exactly. And this is the whole point of the grass is always greener. And you guys have probably heard this statement before, that comparison is a thief of joy. So she was married. She had on paper a perfect marriage, perfect husband who provided everything. She didn't have to work. But then she got jealous of her single friends who are still in the clubs, partying, switching guys every weekend. And now she divorced the man. And now when she's on the other side where her single friends are, she doesn't like it because now she has to work to provide. It's like you can't win. It's like men can't win. Damn. So tell me how a man is going to watch this video and think, you know what? I really want to get married and provide for my wife because she'll never be bored. She'll never divorce me because she's bored for being a stay-at-home wife that I'm providing for. Which man is going to think that?
She's like, I know. And I guess now her ex-husband is dating someone, like seriously. They have been divorced for a total of 3 years, and he has been dating this girl for 2 years. She has 2 kids, and they're already living together. She says that he's fully taking care of her. Like, the girl doesn't work, she's a stay-at-home mom. They haven't had any new kids, but they're planning on having kids. And she's pissed because she's like, how can he move on so fast? Like, I can't even find nobody, and he just found someone so quick, and he didn't even want to give us another try. Like,
You filed for divorce. What are you talking about? Give us another try. You filed for divorce because you thought he wasn't good enough, or you thought you're gonna find a guy who's gonna take you out every weekend. Yo, oh my God, man, we are cooked. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, dating is cooked. Now, am I saying there are no good marriages, good stories? No. But the issue is, if you look at the divorce rate and, the rate at which women file for divorce, you can tell the majority are not good stories. The majority of marriages don't work out. So at the end of the day, yes, we are talking about the negative side effects of, of marriage. But at the end of the day, I think every man needs to see this, because this is what you may sign up to. You may sign up for.
and I was so confused because I was like, okay, so you divorced him because he was always working and
Right.
you were bored.
Yes.
So now you are single, going out, having a good time, dating, but you don't like that. Now you want someone to take care of you, a provider. And your ex-husband, all he wanted to do was be a provider. That's why now he is dating someone who he has no problem providing for.
Exactly.
Her and her kids. And she's pissed because she's like, why would he go and find someone who has kids? Like, he already has kids. Why would he want to take on that responsibility? And I'm like, wait, aren't you looking for someone to take on that responsibility?
Ooh.
I was just...
Because she's a single mom now. So she's looking for a guy who's going to play stepdad. But she's pissed because her ex-husband is playing stepdad to a woman who has kids. Yet she also wants a stepdad. Oh my God. Yo, if this story is real, this is crazy. Which it probably is real, because you can think about this. All the women who divorce their husbands and they have kids, they're probably going to need to find a man who is willing to be a stepdad. Man, we are cooked. This is crazy. But I hope most people learn from this. It's bad. It's bad out here.
Giving her a hard time, I'm not gonna lie, because it was kind of funny to me, because I was like, I could tell that she regretted her decision. I could tell. And I've seen a lot of people do shit like this where they get divorced
Yep.
for reasons that are not, I'm not gonna say they're not valid, because everybody's feelings are valid, but they're fixable problems.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you guys have this wrong idea of marriage that is supposed to be like fun and happy all the time. It's not. I feel like every relationship, it literally depends on compromise. Like, you gotta compromise something. You cannot have everything.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, like, if she was willing to give up on him that quick, like, maybe she just didn't love him that much. Because I cannot even imagine just me being like, oh, I'm bored, I'm gonna divorce my husband, like, no.
Yeah, but so many women do that all the time. They don't say, I'm bored for words, but they usually say, I'm not happy, or he doesn't care, he doesn't listen. And then when you're like, there's an example, when you figure out exactly what happened, oh, he works too much, he leaves me at home by myself. But it's like, if he's paying all the bills and you don't have to work, that means he really works hard to make that happen. Because so many households don't even get that. So many households, the woman has to work because they need both incomes to provide for the family. So many households, women are wishing their husbands could have, what it takes to provide, to pay 100% of the bills so they don't have to work. But then you have a woman who got a man who was willing to work himself to death to pay for everything so she doesn't have to work, and she didn't appreciate it. But I guess so many of us don't appreciate things till they're gone. But what do you guys think about that? Divorce, Marriage, and this is another reason why men are saying, I'm not doing the marriage thing. Never again. No. All right, next up, we have our favorite of the channel, Kendra G. We have this lady. She wants 6 figures, and she says, if you don't make 6 figures, you can't afford her. You're too broke. She's not the woman for you. She doesn't want men who don't make 6 figures. She wants you to buy her some weaves. Let's get into it.
Jenica, okay. Jenica, Miami, how old are you?
I'm 29.
29. What you do for a living?
I work as a housing program manager.
Okay. Housing program manager.
I also make wigs, so that's a little plug.
And you make wigs?
Yes.
So we got Jenica, Miami, 29, housing program manager, makes wigs. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo, you have any kids?
No kids.
No kids. You ever married?
No.
Okay. So Jenica, Miami, 29, Virgo, housing program manager, makes wigs, no kids, never married. What kind of man you looking for, honey?
So I'm looking for someone who's accomplished, someone I can trust, and just an overall person who's willing to, love me as much as I'm willing to love them and willing to build a life with me as much as I'm willing to.
Okay.
So I'm looking for like a partner, like.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Liars, people who don't have like a growth mindset. I can't deal with like someone who's stuck in their ways. Those are like the main big ones for me.
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
You said what? I don't. Okay, like I'm 5'2". As long as he's taller than me, I do prefer black men. Just handsome. As long as you look good and you know how to dress. You gotta know how to dress, please. Those are like my main things.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. She's describing a well put together, stable man. I don't know many of those guys who are willing to take a woman with a blonde wig with butterfly eyelashes. Ladies, I don't know why you keep doing this, but I don't think majority of men find this attractive. I think she would look way better with just her natural hair or maybe some braids and without the butterfly eyelashes. I'm just being honest.
Okay. So be taller than 5'2" and know how to dress. Don't play with it. Should he make a certain amount of money?
Yes. He has to be making like 6 figures.
Oh my God, here we go.
So, if he made 70K, don't reach out to you.
After taxes, 70K is nothing. So I don't think, like the type of woman that I am, I don't think someone would be ready to date me making that. I try not to be picky, but yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. We are doomed. So apparently only men who make 6 figures, so 100,000 or more, and if you make 70,000, you can't afford her. You can't afford to buy her the weaves, you can't afford to buy her the butterfly eyelashes, and you're not good enough because you only make 70,000. It's not good enough for her because she's gonna need you to pay all her bills. I mean, she's working apparently, but she's gonna need you to make more than 70,000 because you have to pay her bills. And you're not gonna. Oh my God, guys, we need prayers.
Baby, translation: 70K ain't shit.
Yep.
If you want to JR, so
I'm not going. I like to travel. I really like nice things. And I try to provide that to myself. So if someone comes in my life, I would expect them to match the same, things that I give myself. So.
But he's not obligated to give you the lifestyle that you are living. He's not attracted to you because of your lifestyle. If you want to travel, keep traveling. Go do your thing. I'll be here when you come back from Cancun. And this is what I was telling. There was a guy in my comment section saying, "Oh, is it wrong to travel with your girl?" I said, "No, it's not wrong. But just know, when women say they like to travel and they like a guy who likes to travel, they are saying, right now I pay for my own trips, but once I'm in a relationship, she's expecting you to now pay for your trips together. So she's saying she's living a lifestyle and she expects you to come in and pay for that lifestyle. You can say she wants a sugar daddy, but that's what she's saying.
Have you ever had this from a man?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
why you not with him?
I don't believe her, but okay.
I'm really picky. That's my problem.
So there was a man that traveled you around the world and bought you nice things?
Oh, well, not all of that at once. So I've had someone who, you know, took me places. However, just personality wise, we just clashed. So it's not just about how much they're making or what they're giving me. It's the whole thing. Like I have to be able to communicate with you, build a life with you. I just didn't get like everything that I wanted.
Okay.
So at this point, she may have to just maybe ask AI to build her a man who's tall, who can pay for her travel trips, who has a good personality, who has a good income and all those things. Because you're never gonna find all those things in one man. He may have all the money, he may have the personality, but he may not be tall. He may be tall, he may have the money, but maybe he doesn't know how to dress. Something is gonna give at some point. But for her to think because she has found good men, but they didn't have everything she needs, so she's gonna keep looking. Baby, you're gonna keep looking till you're 90 years old. But good luck.
What are some of the nice things he would potentially that you would like, you desire?
So mainly I like to travel. That's like the main thing.
Okay, so out the country or within the country?
Out of the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're asking me, was the guy that you travel with, was he older?
Yes.
Sugar daddy.
How much older?
40-ish.
You're 29. Do you consider him a sugar daddy?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. That's what you see. I told you. She's looking for sugar daddy. She doesn't want to say it. Most of them don't want to say it. But anytime a woman says, I want a man to come and literally pay for the lifestyle I'm living now, that I'm paying for myself, I expect that new man to come and do that for me. That's a sugar daddy, if we're going to be honest. Because the average guy like me, I'm not going to come in and pay for your travel just because you're traveling. I'm not going to take you to Ruth Chris just because you are going to Ruth Chris yourself. You can go to the Ruth Chris, and when you want, what's that called? When you want to go to TGI Fridays, then I'll be ready. If you want to go get whatever you get after your dinner, we can go to TGI Fridays.
Okay, you guys were romantic? Okay, we'll keep going. So 6 figures, the minimum. Let's do the Kendra cam.
I'm sorry.
The Kendra cam is when you stand up and we see your full body.
Oh, okay. So hold on. I'm wearing like shorts. So I'm gonna try to let you guys see. I have like my tripod, so let me try to fix myself. Okay. Is it okay? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to adjust it. Okay.
Man, I hate the
Is it good
wig.
enough or no?
We gotta see your legs, honey.
I hate the wig. I hate the eyelashes. Oh my god, it just looks bad.
So my
just bring it
my
down.
crazy.
I'm just trying to see your legs.
Okay.
Oh,
this is me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got the booty.
Yeah, I got a little something.
No waist, booty.
I like to work out too, so that's
all right. We ain't got no bras, so come back up. We don't give these men a free show.
I mean, she's in shape, but that's the only thing. But saying men making $70,000, they're not good enough, and you want him to pay for your travel and nice things, we are cooked.
When was
I'm like, no.
There we go. When was your last relationship, honey?
My last relationship ended in 2021.
You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
January.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Um, I'm very controlling and picky.
Oh my
I
God.
have trust
Who
issues.
knew? Who knew that a woman who thinks men who make $70,000 are not good enough to date? Who knew that she would be controlling? Let me guess, there's selfishness too. Let me guess, another flaw is gonna be that you spend so much money. Another flaw should be the wig and the eyelashes. I can't stop thinking about them.
Issues and what else? I can be intense sometimes.
You be intense?
Yes.
Big headed.
And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Oh, I can answer that for her. A guy would be lucky to be with her because he's gonna pay for her travel. He's gonna buy her expensive things, gifts. He's gonna buy her more wigs and more eyelashes. I got it. She doesn't have to answer anymore.
Overall, I just know like I'm just a great person.
Great.
I think one of the best abilities I would say that I have is having that growth mindset. Because
Oh
I'm looking for a
yeah.
partnership, I want someone that will be willing to build with me. So if a man, wants like, to build an actual family, I think I would be that.
If you're looking for a man who has all the money to take you traveling and buy you expensive gifts, right? And he has to make $100,000 or more, he's already built. There is nothing to build. So for you to say you want a man to build with you, you're simply saying you need a man to come and invest his money in you to build you up. But he's already built. So you're not building with him. You want him to help you build. Anyway, man, shout out to Kendra for doing this. I wouldn't be able to do it every night, but I'll put down the link below to the full YouTube video and to Kendra's show. All right, next up, we have another Delulu lady who thinks she's the prize, and that every man should worship the ground she walks on. Let's go.
Moving on to the next thing, you said that you like modern dating and you hate it at the same time because when you were on Bumble, you've had like 4,000 potential matches, and out of those 4,000, only 200 reached your standards. 4, so I think that's 5% if my math is right. So like only 4,000 matches, only 200 of them reached your standards. So what are your standards?
Guys, think about that. She matched with 4,000 guys and she couldn't find a single man to be in a relationship with. Think about that for a second. That's crazy. If you don't see who the red flag is, I can show you. That's the red flag right there.
They're kind of, I want to say...
Tall and rich?
No.
But come on, it's tall and rich,
no,
right?
Tall one. Intelligence is another one. I'd say like hustle and drive is
so
a big
rich?
one. It doesn't even have to be rich. It's
What?
like the first man I ever.
Well, how much?
Let me talk.
I just want to know how much. Because I ask you questions and you answer not my question.
How much?
How much does he make?
It don't matter right now. It don't matter because I'm making my own bread. It's if he can take care of me. Like it's not even like what you're making because I'm not moving in with you or being engaged yet. Right now, it's like how much are you willing to invest in me as a person? Not.
So it matters. You can't say his money doesn't matter because you're not living with him, and then in the same breath you say, but I want him to invest in me. So clearly the money matters. Ladies, stop playing the gymnastics. We understand it. We understand you don't want to seem like gold diggers, even if you were in this instance. But you can't say the money doesn't matter and then you ask the man to invest in you.
As like what you making in a year because I really don't care. Because
Does that mean just like give me a sandwich and shit like that?
I mean, give me a sandwich like I put on there, take me shopping, cliff jumping, trips. There's other things you could do to show a woman that you care about her.
If he takes you shopping, you pay?
Hell no.
Well then he has to make something.
What do you mean?
How is he going to take you shopping without money?
I'm trying to tell you, there's no limit on it for me because the amount don't matter.
For a minimum.
The minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if
I feel like to
if
take
he made
care
like
of me, it'd
40K.
probably take over at least 120K a year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we have another 6 figures queen. Oh my God, all women want a 6-figure guy. If you make 80,000, in fact, in some cases, these ladies have said if you make $99,000, you're not good enough to date. You're not good enough for them. You can't, because you can't afford them. You can't afford to pay their travel trips. You can't afford to buy them good gifts, expensive gifts, and take them to nice dinner dates. Guys, we are cooked. Yo, if you thought dating in 2024 was crazy, it's getting worse. They are even rejecting men who are 6 feet because they're too short. Now, a guy like me who's 5'8", I can't. I'm out because clearly they don't got 6 feet is too short for them. That means me who's 5'8", I'm a dwarf. It's bad. It's bad out here.
Do the things I like to do.
Do you expect him to pay to spend 120 a year?
No, I don't.
How much do you expect him to pay?
I think he should be investing in himself, doing what he needs to do to progress in the future.
I'm just asking for you, for the beneficiary. How much do you estimate this man's going to have to spend in order to take care of you yearly?
Good question.
I can't give you that because
just roughly.
I can give you what I spend on myself a month when it comes to my nails and my hair.
Yeah.
Nails, hair, sometimes flights. I'd say it's like 1,000. Like it's a whole nother bill.
Okay, so
of
you
course
want
it
him to
is.
spend at least $1,000 a month on you.
No, it could vary. But there's no number I put on it. That's kind of like the fun part for me, and the part that's important is seeing what they will do on their own. It's like I'll tell you, but it's like after a while, it's like you should know this is what I want. This is how it's gonna go.
Okay, well maybe I can frame it differently. Let's say a man makes zero money.
Okay.
What ways would he invest in you that you would see him as a potential partner, even if he's
Probably
making no money?
Making no money, probably because my promo modeling, I'm an independent contractor, so I push myself and do reviews for other businesses. So if he was helping push my business, I am a brand ambassador for a nail girly, so if he's giving out cards for me and stuff, that's an important one.
If any of you guys, now I understand Andrew is asking for a hypothetical question to see her logic, but if some of you guys believe that this woman would date a guy who makes no money, I have a building to sell you right now, and it's free of charge.
Probably the trips and excursions is a big one.
But he can't take you on trips with no money.
Oh.
Right?
So you're saying with no money, what can you
Hang
do?
on, into the mic, yeah.
What you're saying with no money, what can you do?
Yeah, no money.
Nothing.
Not shit, right?
Support? No, he could support me.
How?
Do you value companionship?
Well,
I do. I was about to say,
let her finish.
just support me and my business, continue to thrive in whatever he's doing, even if he's making zero money.
Yeah.
If you are still driving for something, like if you're doing real estate or in school or doing something
So he can benefit you by doing business legwork.
Yeah. And,
okay.
And he could also benefit me in
And are
picking
you
cars. You could pick me up.
Are you ever going to take
me
this guy
places.
out on dates with your own money?
I feel
No.
like I may pitch for excursions.
What does that mean?
There's a base sum, and I pitch in maybe 30%.
So you're not going to pay for the date? No.
Because I
Told you. I know he's using a hypothetical to test our logic, but I'm glad he's doing that because some of you guys are delusional. But the women have told you time and time and time again, once you are in a relationship with them, they expect you to fund their lifestyle. Like she said, she spends $1,000 on herself in a month. She's expecting you, the guy, to spend on her $1,000. And mind you, she's not telling you what she's giving you in return, what benefit she's bringing to your life, what value.
I'm the prize. I'm
So
not.
this guy
I'm not bringing anything to the table because I'm the guest of honor.
So the guy with not
God.
a lot of resources
flag.
or almost no resources, he can assist your business by doing a bunch of legwork for you, but he essentially gets zero out of it, right?
He gets to be with me in my presence.
But is he with you?
Yes.
He's just in your presence.
I think
But are you
men
hooking?
don't get to
Well, are you
experience me
hooking
like
up?
that.
Are you hooking up with that bum? Are you
We
gonna
are
hook up with
doing-
that bum?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna hook up with him?
If I love you and you continuing to support me even when you have zero money, because when I get with you, gonna have some money. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
You mean when you hook up?
See? She says she's a prize, but she expects you to bring the money to the table because she's the prize, and she expects you to have the money. Yo, we are cooked. Oh my God.
No, when they ask me for my information, I'm not gonna get with a bum, period. But if they ask me for my information and I got them and they're very driven and they got a job at the very least, but then they have no job, I'm gonna stick it out because I see that they were there when they had it.
Okay, now I think we've established a floor base. So to get with you,
yes, you
what's
have
the minimum amount for that?
She said 120.
One. You just gotta have like I
Well,
said,
there is a
probably
minimum
1,000,
one. Wait,
probably
there has to be a minimum one.
probably 1,000.
You have to 1,000 what?
You said on excursions like food, nail hairs, like I feel like I said 1,000 already. Like that, like you asked me like what was everything overall like in a month, and I said it like $1,000 or a little more.
Yeah, he gotta be able to pay that 1,000 bill she spends on herself. She's a sugar baby.
Cause yeah, and like I'm on my feet a lot as a model, so I like to get foot massages and other things. So it's like if I'm going and I already scheduled, he could just pay for his and he could come with me, and I'm not gonna expect him to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's like a mutual respect. But at the end of the day, I want you to be a man. I want you to
pay.
Yeah, I want you to want good for yourself. If I got money, you gonna have money.
But how much money? Should he have at least as much money as you?
Eventually, if you are on a path to have more money than me, that's valid. Because you don't start at the
less
top.
money than you.
No.
We might have a discussion about.
So you do want your guy.
Yo, I mean, the truth is, it's gonna cost you. That's what really Andrew is trying to display here. I think that's why he keeps asking her questions. He's trying to show her how delusional she is. But there are guys who are willing to pay that $1,000 a month. So I could see why she thinks she's worth $1,000 a month just to be with her.
To end up making more money than you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But right now, it's not super important. It's still hella young. You know what I'm saying? So we still got time to learn.
And these men get the luxury of being in your presence and helping your business.
Because she's the prize.
And coming to things with me. Like I've done like a lot of events, and they just get to come with me. You know, whoever I'm with
can I
at
ask
the
you
time.
something? Like, let's say that do you like are your parents both married?
No, my mother is married now, but they're divorced.
Do you know your father pretty well?
He's a kinda.
Yeah,
I'm his firstborn daughter, so he kinda.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But he's not really around too much. Okay.
That makes sense. Her biological father is not really in her life, so that could be one of the reasons she is the way she is. I'm not saying it's the only reason. I'm just saying it explains why she has the kind of mindset that she does.
When did that happen?
Young, like probably
really
like
young?
6.
So basically,
7.
your mom raised you.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Military mama. Yeah.
Okay.
So even the mom wasn't that around, because if she was a military mama, she was doing trips, whatever, deployments. So the dad was not in her life from the age of 6, and the mom was in the military deployments. So who was raising her? The world was raising her, and the world has told her she needs a man who's willing to pay her $1,000 a month to be in her presence because she's the prize. Do you see the cycle of the lack of a 2-parent household that it does to us out here? I'm just being honest, to both men and women. Because in her case, that's her case. But for a guy, for a boy, usually it's the jail pipeline, you know?
What branch?
She's an Army sergeant.
Did she move around a lot?
Yes, she did.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how that works,
Yes,
right?
it
Different
is.
stations.
Military brat.
Yeah, military brat. Okay. Did you go overseas?
Not with her, no.
No.
She just did. Yeah.
Okay. So, but just backing up, does your mom have male friends who've been like a part of your life for a long time?
Yeah. They're not hella around, but she has a husband, so it's like.
Do you have a good relationship with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if he was sitting down, right, with his son, would you advise his son to date you?
I think if you're dating.
Well, I mean, do you think he should advise his son that he should date you if the son's like, Dad, I'm looking for the right girl?
I think that's weird.
Sister?
I'm kind of in the middle of different things. Let's say you weren't related, you just know him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just know him, right? But would you, if he was telling his son, right, to date a woman like you, is what I'm asking.
I think if you have the means to date a woman like you, because a lot of the time the men who are bums and don't have no money, don't have a car, they're just trying to have sex. They're not trying to look for a relationship. They're not
There are
looking
men like
for
that, sure.
And you think the men who have money are not trying to just have fun? That's crazy.
Yeah. And they're
But that seems
very
a lot.
much
But
here.
doesn't that seem like it's way easier than getting your fucking coffee and promoting your business? And
As a man, that could be your
and
opinion.
then spending thousands of dollars on you in the hopes that maybe something will happen, rather than just going, I would just smash if I can, and then find a woman who's way less work than that.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because I have a lot of goals and I'm very driven.
Yeah, men don't care.
Yeah, but those goals don't benefit the man. Because at the end of the day, the goals that you have, you are still expecting the man to come and invest in those same goals. So he's not benefiting from them.
Goals. They don't care about your financial
Yeah,
goals.
they do.
They
They
care.
don't.
They don't give a shit.
See, this is what she talked about, generalizing
No guys
things.
care, which
Yes,
majority
they
of
do.
people need two incomes
Men don't
to make
really
a house.
care.
A lot of men want to be stay-at-home
Listen,
dads these
No,
days.
they don't.
No,
Yes,
they
they
don't.
do.
No,
Most
they don't.
people marry in the same socioeconomic status
Yes.
that they're in.
That's true, because that's what women will marry. Is at
Yeah.
least a man
Well, I think
who
it's
is
just
within the same socials, or higher. They usually marry up, actually.
But he's
I'm just talking about people in general, not
Yeah.
women, not men.
I'm not
Most
just.
people.
But this makes my
and I think
point.
that's
Households
This
are
makes my
two
point.
income
This makes my
households.
point. And nobody's disputing that either.
Yeah.
Both of these make my point.
So they do care if they can't
They
afford a
don't care.
household.
Listen, the man.
No, they don't care. It just so happens that when they're interested in a woman, because they have to raise kids, it is just logical that if the family relies on his income, the income won't be enough. Plus, they usually find the woman working, so most women don't want to give up their careers. So what happens? They get married, the man continues working, the woman continues working. So they rely on both their incomes. It just happens like that.
And the man themselves don't care that much about women's economic goals. They don't care about them.
If they can't afford rent and
Then
they want a family, then yes, they
Why are they
do.
not marrying poor women?
They do.
Well,
They
we
do all
just
the
agree
time.
that the majority marry the same.
Rich
That's not
men
true. Okay.
marry poor women.
But you contradict yourself here, because you say they marry people based on proximity. I agree. They marry people
Yeah.
based on proximity.
No.
Usually the people that you're going to meet are going to be at like work.
Sure.
Yep.
They're going to be in areas like this. So they're probably going to be making around the same amount of money that you do. But men do marry poor women, especially rich men marry poor.
Well,
marry poor women all the time. Women do not marry poor, or rich women don't marry poor men, and women of good high social economic status, they usually still marry up, not down.
That's facts. I don't know why they just can't seem to understand. They really want to believe that men care about the woman's money. But when a man sees a woman, the first thing he thinks about, oh, she's pretty, I'm attracted to her. The second thing is she available? When a woman sees a man, okay, he looks good, he's well dressed. What does he do for work? You know, okay, I can talk to him, but what does he do for work? So in fact, the conversation is going to be, what do you do? What are your goals? What are your ambitions? Those are usually the questions the woman fires up to the man to find out if he's good long term for stability. Anyway, guys, shout out to whatever. Shout out to Andrew. I don't know why Brian wasn't in the cut, but I'll put down the link below to whatever podcast. And guys, we have this video. This mom was so mad, she took her baby daddy to court. You know, child support issues. You guys know that you know, in family court systems, so many times when ladies take men to those courts, they either want child support, they want full custody. But we've been seeing very shocking judges throwing women in jail, or refusing to give them child support, or actually putting the woman on child support. So in this video, it's going to be very interesting. I don't want to spoil it for you, so let's go through it, and I'll put down the full link down below. All right, let's go.
And getting your parenting time.
I don't believe that he needs any more parenting time.
She's wanting him to come home. Unwillingness to follow your rulings.
And I slammed the door in his face. No, what's
In
going
today's
on?
case, a mom refuses to follow court orders, ignoring multiple rulings and keeping dad from his kids. Now, she's back in court to explain herself. Again, the judge, beyond done, and when the ruling drops, let's just say she does not take it well. Buckle up.
This time and place set for the show cause hearing in this matter for contempt for failure to provide parenting time. I'll let you know we're going to take some brief, I guess, testimony from the parties. I'll let everybody know that everybody will have an opportunity to speak. So don't interrupt anyone else or don't interrupt the court. You'll have an opportunity to speak your piece. So on the we do have the show cause hearing. We also have the motion for change of custody and parenting time. I'm going to address the motion first because that will be the easiest matter to get resolved. So, Mr. Kelly, you can proceed with your motion.
Your Honor, essentially, that motion is based primarily on the issues we've had ongoing in relation to compliance with a court order and my client getting parenting time. It's directly and impacts the child custody factors, and I'll name the ones that are impacted due to this withholding occurrence. The love, affection, and emotional ties existing between the parties. It looks at the emotional bond. Him being prevented from seeing his kids is preventing him to continue that emotional bond and nurture that emotional bond, which he had prior to this latest withholding that is started back on December 27th. Factor B, the capacity and disposition of the parties involved to give the child love and affection that focuses on the ability to, again, parent to foster an emotional bond in the future. He's having a hard enough time in the present, again, because she's not keeping in compliance with the court order, and he's not able to see these girls to be able to have a solid relationship and foster that relationship. The length of time they've lived in a stable, satisfactory environment, I'd submit to the court. Defendant's home is not stable, considering the allegations she's made that have been investigated by CPS twice, police twice, and both been denied. Nothing's come of it, which leads me also to the moral fitness of the parties involved, which ties into the same factor. We have to keep in mind, Your Honor, at the beginning of this case, he was charged with domestic violence in relation to her essentially going after him to get keys to his truck so she could get some pot and smoke it. As he's being arrested, she's telling him, I want you to come home. He, of course, gets him on bond. He can't have any contact. Once the bond conditions get lifted, she's contacting him through text and saying, hey, let's meet you and the girls get together and we can go to the zoo, we can go to a park.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, how does this relate to your motion?
It's related to, Your Honor, again, the moral fitness involved, as well as the stable, satisfactory environment, in that she's accusing him of these girls. But before all this, she's wanting him to come home. She's wanting a relationship with him. She's wanting her family essentially reunified. Those two things don't jive together, Your Honor. And I would think that essentially it's a fabrication, which would go again to the moral fitness and also to the mental and physical health of the parties, Your Honor. You're making these allegations, these terrible allegations, but on the other hand, you're still wanting the same guy who's supposedly doing this stuff to come into your house. Finally, Your Honor, the unwillingness and ability to facilitate and encourage a relationship. Again, this is the fourth motion we're here this morning on, Your Honor, for him to see his girls. She doesn't follow your court orders. She withholds them for no valid reason. And she's clearly shown she's not going to facilitate a relationship between him and his kids. I think that's more than enough that gets us over the threshold of a change in circumstance or proper cause, because these things are having a significant impact on these girls' lives in terms of having a relationship with their mother.
I mean, for me, what hurts me every time I watch these these court issues is because the kids suffer in the end. Because there is no way these kids don't grow up without any mental challenges. Seeing their mom and dad fight in court. Like, why should the dad have to go to court to fight to see his own kids? The money they're spending on the judge, on the lawyers, the lawyer fees, and the time they're taking away from work, that's time and money they could have invested in their kids. But now the kids are growing up seeing this dysfunction. The chances are the kids are going to grow up to be like their parents in dysfunctional, relationships and marriages and divorces. So for me, what hurts me is the fact that everything the moms do to hurt the father of the kids, it turns back on the kids eventually.
So we would request, as part of our relief, that you set this matter for an evidentiary hearing. We're also requesting during the interim that my client get temporary parenting time starting today, and that he continue to have them until the evidentiary hearing, that mom's parenting time be supervised at her expense, because she's clearly shown an unwillingness to follow your rulings or to comply with your court orders. I think if you don't do that, she's going to take these kids and run, and we're going to be in a bigger mess than we are today.
Thank you. Ms. Couch, if you wish to speak to the motion.
I had some statements, but it's just what I had submitted to the court.
Okay, go ahead, tell me, and then.
Okay. Would you like me to stand?
Whatever you wish. If it's more comfortable sitting, go ahead, but speak up a little. So
Okay.
She's gonna lie.
I said that his first statement was true, but the second statement that he said was false. I said I previously tried to change parenting time because of the videos the plaintiff had been watching. It was reported to Penfield's police department because plaintiff was previously residing in Penfield. I spoke to their sheriff where we looked at the videos together, and he told me that he would be conducting a search and not to address the matter to the plaintiff because he would need time to get 2 search warrants, and the investigation was never done. The next statement is also false. On December 27th, after the children's bath, Amelia Conley was heavily touching her private area. The fourth statement is false. CPS is not taking the proper steps to ensure the minor children's safety, and I did mention police involvement in the last hearing as well. The fifth statement is also false. Errors were made by the plaintiff's attorney. The sixth statement is also false. There is supposed to be a pending CPS case, and I was never told otherwise. CPS and I have spoken on numerous occasions and decided that the best course of action was therapy, which the minor children are attending at Summit Point. I do have proof of all of that as well. 7, that's also false. I was never told that they were declining to investigate the police. Number 8, it's false. In early 2024, my mom threatened to call CPS on me because of the children's odd behavior, requesting that I get them checked by the doctor. I had the doctor examine them at their 2-year checkup, and almost 2 months later, the plaintiff was arrested for domestic violence. I originally withheld the kids because of the plaintiff's knowing that the plaintiff was not mentally stable enough for unsupervised visitation, and I withheld the children again after finding videos and the minor. The 9th statement is true. The 11th statement is false. The 12th, I'm unsure of the plaintiff's employment, but the plaintiff has stopped paying child support, and I still stay at home with my children. Number 13, I have lived at the residence that the FOC has on file since December 10th, 2024. The 14th statement, I'm unsure of the plaintiff's relationship status. I have friends and family in Michigan, and I lived in Indiana until I was 18, and most of my family resides there. Number 15, I would like the court to consider changing the current custody orders and issue no further contact between the minor children and the plaintiff. Plaintiff should be held accountable for his actions, regardless of stature or representation.
Wow, she's trying to take the kids away from the father completely. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, this is why, guys, you gotta be careful who you make babies with. Because much as I feel bad for the man, he definitely must have seen some signs somewhere in the beginning before they even had kids. Somewhere in the beginning of the relationship. Whether it was after the first kid, whether it was whenever it was, he saw some red flags. Now I have to be easy on him because he's in a bad situation. But guys, we gotta be careful. You gotta be careful who you make babies with, because this is ruining his whole life, and it's also gonna affect the kids down the road. Let's go.
That's all.
Okay, thank you. I don't need anything else, Mr. Kelly. What the court will do in this matter is the court has read the pleadings. Obviously, you're well aware of the file in this case. The court does believe that the plaintiff has met the Vavarka threshold of proper cause, change of circumstances sufficient for an evidentiary hearing. So the court will schedule an evidentiary hearing in this matter. Mr. Kelly, you can proceed with your show cause hearing. Do you wish to take testimony from your client? Okay.
Certainly can. I have another witness that I could call as well. I just have two.
Okay. Whichever you want to do first. Go ahead.
I could have Mr. Connolly testify.
Okay, Mr. Connolly, if you step forward, we'll have you sworn in and then we'll take some testimony. And I say brief testimony. I don't need to get into.
Sure. We'll keep it straight to the point here.
All right, raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Sir. Go ahead and have a seat, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Kelly.
Mr. Connolly, could you state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Zachary Donald Conley, Conley.
Are you the father of Amelia and Evelyn Connolly in this matter?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You currently have parenting time with them?
Yes.
What is your understanding of what the parenting time is supposed to be?
Every other weekend and a day during the week, in the evening. Not my weekends, it's Wednesday through Friday.
Have you been getting your parenting time?
No.
Why not?
Because she is refusing to let me see them.
And when you say she, who are you referencing?
Athena, couch.
Okay. Have you attempted to get your children from this couch?
Yes.
Have you called the police for their assistance?
Yes.
What happened when the police got involved?
That she slammed the door in their face, denies them, and just tells them no.
Okay.
Now imagine if the woman called the cops on the man that, hey, Mr. Officer, this man doesn't want me to see my kids. Would the man be allowed to just slam his door and then the cops do nothing? Never. They would probably break the door because they would call it a kidnapping. But apparently he called the cops. They came to her house. She slammed the door and they just left. That's crazy. There is no way any man is going to watch this video. Any man who has no kids, or even if you have kids, and say, you know what, I want to have more kids, or I want to have kids. Because you're going to see this and you're saying, oh, now you're going to be thinking, so are you telling me I'm going to have kids with a woman and there's a likelihood I'm going to be going to court to ask the judge, another man, to let me see my kids? That's crazy.
Have you filed motions with the court to get parenting time?
Yes.
Has the court awarded you make-up parenting time?
Yes.
Most recently, did the court award you parenting time in January of this year?
Yes.
Did you attempt to go pick the children up for that make-up parenting time?
Yes.
What happened?
She refused to give them to me again.
Do you approximately know how many days you have missed so far as simply your overnights for parenting time?
20.
Would you like the court to grant you some make-up parenting time this morning?
Yes.
No further questions, really.
Okay. Ms. Couch, do you have any questions for the plaintiff? No? Okay, thank you. You may step down then, sir. Next witness, Mr. Kelly.
Your Honor, we would call Lori.
I mean, I'm glad the guy has a lawyer, but again, it goes back to the fact that this is expensive. So maybe this guy has money, but I see why some dads hate going through the courts because he's missing out on work time, but he also has to put so much money down to fight the case to see his own kids, but at the same time he's expected to pay child support instead of using the money he's paying the lawyers to take care of his kids. So I see why some guys just give up. And then they call him a deadbeat dad, but it's like, why should I have to go to court to see my own kids?
Connolly. Okay, Ms. Connolly, step forward, please.
Laurie Putnam, Your Honor.
Okay. You're gonna make me change my.
All right. Ma'am, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Ma'am, could you state your last name again? Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Ms. Putnam, how do you know Mr. Connolly?
He is my son.
And how do you know Ms. Couch?
She is Zach's former girlfriend and the mother of my granddaughters.
You heard him just testify that he has parenting time with your granddaughters, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you assist him in pickup and drop offs for
I do.
parenting time? Okay. What do you do in that regard?
I go with him and walk up to the door with him to get the girls,
Okay.
to attempt to get the girls.
Has there been occasions when you have gone with him to go get the girls? And anything happened in regards to him actually getting the girls?
Prior to December 27th, yes. After December 27th, no, she refused.
Let's talk about prior to December 27th. What would happen?
We would go and we would wait for her to show up. When she'd show up, she'd let the girls out and they would come running up to Zach and we would take them.
Okay. Did something change after December 27th?
She just started refusing to give the give the girls. His first visit that he was supposed to was I'm not sure, but I got a text from Athena on New Year's Day saying that she was going to refuse to give the girls.
And have you gone with him on subsequent occasions to attempt parenting time?
Yes.
Okay. And what has happened on those subsequent occasions?
Either she would not be home, he would text her and she would not respond, or if she was there, we'd knock on the door, she'd open the door and then just say no and slam the door in our face. So we would go back to the truck and call the police for the police to come out and assist.
And the police came out and assisted. That help in terms of actually getting parenting time to occur?
No, she just did the same thing to the police.
And this is why I was telling you, think of a situation. Would any man slam the door in a cop's face and the cops don't break down the door to get the kids out? Just think about that.
No further questions.
Okay, hold on, ma'am. No, you're not done. Just to clarify, that he talked about prior to the December 27th date, and the court had previously entered an order which provided for makeup parenting time, and that stated that the parenting time would that the parenting time would again, the makeup would occur on January 27, 2025, and the plaintiff's motion states that he did appear on that date. Did you go with him on the January 27th date?
Yeah.
Okay. And what happened on that date?
She just refused. I don't know, either she refused or she wasn't there.
Okay. Okay. And you don't remember if she was not there or if she refused?
I don't remember that specific time.
Okay.
I have it written down at home, but I don't remember.
Okay, Ms. Couch, do you have any questions
I
of
do,
this witness?
yes. At what age did Zach Conley start wearing diapers?
And Judge, I'm gonna object to it.
Ma'am, that is not germane.
No, I am.
Ma'am, what we'll do is we're here to determine whether there was parenting time. That's the show cause, okay? So that's what the purpose of this hearing is. So you can ask questions about the parenting time, compliance with the orders, etc. Okay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
And you were at my residence on the 27th to pick up the children?
Oh, actually, on the January 27th?
Yes. Or December 27th. Or sorry, no, January 27th. I don't have anything written down.
Yes.
Okay. Even though the order was for the 29th. Wasn't that the order
Whatever,
that the judge
whatever
put in
day,
place?
whatever judgment day.
So you
I don't know
just-
specific dates, whatever.
And I slammed the door in your face how many times?
Twice that I went by myself once because that was at an appointment.
And
that you slammed the door in my face. I have it on video, yes.
And you came alone, correct?
I did that day, yes.
Okay. And then, that's all. That was all.
Man, shout out to the mom. The man's mom is, being there for her son. Because I guess she knows how women can be sometimes. So shout out to her for supporting her son.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, any redirect?
No, Your Honor, no further questions, no further witnesses.
Okay, you may step down then. Thank you. Ms. Couch, do you wish to present any testimony or witnesses? No? Thank you. Check that order because there was some, Ms. Couch, you raised some issues concerning the, I think it was the order of January 27th. I want to make sure if that was the time as well for the makeup parenting time. I believe it was, but
It was January 27th through February 9th.
okay, that's what I thought. And
I could have swore the pickup date was the 29th. I apologize.
well, I want to make sure that it's correct so that there's no issue.
But I wasn't home at the time of pickups.
The truth is starting to
And
come
why
out.
is that?
Because and I don't believe that he needs any more parenting time.
She's lying, man.
You understand that there's an order for parenting time.
And if it was your children, you would be sending them.
Ooh,
Yeah,
she's spicy. She's talking to the judge spicy. And if it was your children, oh my God. Yo, this is comedy.
just asking you a question. You understand that it was parenting, that it was ordered.
Didn't you deny that? Didn't you go on base and deny it after the fact?
Not the other particular orders. I did deny an ex parte order at one point, but there were subsequent orders to that.
You guys did receive the pictures that I submitted to the court as well, correct?
Anything that was filed has been in the file.
I would love you to take that into consideration.
I would know for the court, I received no response to either of these pleadings for today's hearing.
Okay.
Shout out to the guy for getting a lawyer, because I know it's because of money that so many guys represent themselves. Because it's expensive, if we're going to be honest. And like I said, the guy is not getting his kids, but he's still expected to pay child support even if he's not getting the kids, even if he doesn't get to see his kids. Because he's not going to come to the court and be like, hey, judge, I stopped paying child support because the mom wasn't letting me see my kids. The judge is not going to take that. He may even go to jail because of that. So I'm just saying, like, if guys who can manage to get money to pay for a lawyer, it's better to pay for a lawyer, because clearly he's in a good position because of the lawyer. But it's expensive. So I see why some guys, again, may not be able to get a lawyer, even to go to even bother. If a woman says, I'm not going to let you see the kids, some guys just give up and just live their lives as deadbeats.
Okay, the order is dated February 4, 2025. And it provided for makeup parenting time in Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, 2025. It also provided that the plaintiff would have the children with him on January 29th, 2025 at 6 o'clock p.m. until February 9th, 2025.
I have another question to ask you, sir.
Okay. Let me clarify that, because this is the order dated February 4th. Did you provide parenting time on the January 29th?
No, I did not.
Okay. And we had at the last hearing it addressed the issue of the CPS involvement. CPS, as Mr. Kelly has stated, has been involved twice before, and they've not had anything substantiated. Is that your understanding?
No, I have the CPS report right here, as well as Carla Titus's number. Now she said that her findings weren't. I need to take the kids to therapy to get the whole picture, from the kids, them talking, them playing, them, interacting with a therapist. And so that way they can go on record.
So if you guys don't know, she's actually accusing the dad of doing things to his own kids. Let me repeat that. The reason she claims she doesn't want the dad to see his own kids is because she's saying he did things, the things I'm talking about is YouTube, so I'm not going to say them, that he did things to his own kids. Can you imagine such a big allegation? And this is why I say this affects the kids, because she's coaching them to look at the dad as abusive dad, but that stays with them as they grow. Now, guess what kind of picture they see in a man? They're always going to think and believe men are bad. My dad was bad. My dad did things to me, so men are bad. So they're going to have that bad relationship towards men. And the cycle will repeat. The generational cycle will repeat. Because even their kids will have the same mental issues.
And they are in therapy at Summit Point. Now this has just started, but they've already, said some things. That was one of my questions. Do you have the report from Summit Point? They told me that I needed to sign a release so that way they could contact you.
Okay, I'm not aware of any report from Summit Point. It may be in the file, it may not, but you've not introduced that today. And you don't have anyone that could speak to that from Summit Point as a witness in this case, which is what today's date is set for in this particular matter. So that is okay. Mr. Kelly, do you have any final argument in this matter?
As the court's already touched on a little bit, this is our fourth motion to try to get him parenting time. We simply want him to have his parenting time, with a threshold being met, Your Honor, and considering the behaviors, and I think it's going to be ongoing from this couch. We request that the children be turned over to him today, that he have custody and parenting time with the children until the evidentiary hearing occurs. We'd request mom's parenting time be supervised. We'd also request the assistance of law enforcement to pick the children up. I believe they're probably with her mother, who's likely going to take the same stance as Ms. Couch and refuse to turn them over. Maybe give them the authority with a court order if she fails to do so, that she can be arrested. And in the meantime, Your Honor, we'd request the finding of contempt. Sanctions are doing nothing. You've sanctioned her $1,000, which she's voiced she's never going to pay. Doesn't have any impact on her. At this point in time, we'd request jail time, 30 days of jail time. Maybe that'll get her attention that she needs to follow your orders. Thank you.
Let's go. And this is why it's important to have a lawyer. I know they're expensive, but guys, if you're going through such a situation, this is why you may have to consider getting a lawyer. You know, they're asking for jail time for the woman and to get the kids away from her. You know, because I think the reason why the police were not able to get the kids for all the times they called them to help them is because apparently they didn't have a court order. Even if the judge just said there was a court order for the man to get his parenting time back. But looks like the woman was just shutting the door in the police's face and they just left. She gotta go do some jail time, because if the roles were reversed, the guy would be in jail. And he still has to pay child support, and if he doesn't do that, he'll still go to jail. So it's fair. Let her go to jail.
Thank you. Ms. Couch, your closing argument.
I am acting I just want my kids to be safe. That's all.
Crocodile tears. Playing
Okay,
victim.
thank you. Well, the court has heard again, the testimony in this case. The court will note that, again, that apparently there had been a denial of parenting time, which is not disputed by the defendant. In fact, she acknowledges that she has, in fact, denied parenting time. And court notes that as a result, she has withheld the children, that she's failed to comply with the order of.
But there's reason, sir.
Excuse me?
There's reason.
Okay.
Valid reason.
Okay, ma'am, you're done. You don't have time to speak at this point. Okay.
Exactly. You gave your final arguments. The judge asked you, say your last words. You did, so shut up. Let's go.
You've had a chance to testify. You had a chance to do a final argument, so you're done. The court, she failed to comply with the order of June 13, 2024 for parenting time. She failed to comply with the order of December 2nd, 2024 for parenting time. There was an order of November 1, 2024 for makeup parenting time and attorney fees of $500. Again, there was an order for makeup parenting time dated February 4, 2025 for makeup parenting time and attorney fees from the hearing held on January 27, 2025, that all four of those orders she's failed to comply with. The court has reviewed the file. There's been multiple show cause hearings. She has previously been held in contempt of court. She has previously been ordered to make up parenting time as well as pay attorney fees, as I stated, and she's failed to comply with any and all of these prior orders of the court.
Wow.
Her recourse is to file motions, have hearings in the event that there is some issue. The court will note that I am recalling from the last hearing where she had made allegations concerning the plaintiff, and in fact, she acknowledged at that time that there had been 2 CPS involvements and the CPS had not done anything as a result. She acknowledged that she had been in contact with the police, that they had not done anything as a result either. The court will find that she is in fact in contempt of court.
Let's go.
The court will, as the plaintiff stated, he's entitled to 20 days of makeup parenting time, and that shall occur at such time as he acquires the care of the children. The court will note that, again, the prior rulings of this court, that she had done makeup parenting time on 2 occasions, as well as paying the attorney fees, that in fact she has ignored and refused to comply with those particular orders. So, ma'am, unfortunately, you leave me no choice, but the court will sentence you to 30 days in jail.
Let's go.
Calhoun County Sheriff.
Yeah.
Will further remand you to the care of the Calhoun County Sheriff, where you will remain until such time as the children are turned over to the plaintiff
Let's
and until
go.
such time as you paid the previously ordered attorney fees of $1,000. So, ma'am, you can go with the sheriff, and
Are you
this
serious?
matter is concluded.
Oh,
You're free to go.
Who's
Have a good
sucking
day.
whose dick around here?
did she just ask the judge who's sucking whose dick here? Yo, I love this. Let's go, judge. Let's go.
Seriously.
Another 30 days for contempt of court.
60 days. 60 days now. 60 days. How you gonna ask the judge if he sucks dick? 60 days, bitch.
60 days now.
No, what's going
If you
on?
keep going, I can go as long as you want, ma'am.
60 days in jail. Let's go. You gotta respect the judge,
Mayor,
man.
if we could have the assistance of the sheriff taking out where the girls are, we suspect they're with their with grandmother, but we're not.
Well, she has been remanded until such time as the girls are turned over. So that she can stay there as long as she wants, I guess, until she has them turned over.
I'll draft the order in 7 days, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're free to go. Have a good.
All right, man, guys. I'll link down below. This channel, man, it shows so many of these videos. It's called again, Court Nerds, Your Court Watch Score. I'll link down below the full channel so you guys can go check it out. Man, this was a win for all the dads who do the hard work to stay in their kids' life, but somehow the moms find a way to refuse them to see their kids. What do you guys think about that? All right, till next time. Peace.